Alright guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be looking at something really crucial. We're going to be talking about the big mistakes people make while coding with HTML, CSS and JavaScript. Like these days, a lot of the developers these days now make mistakes which are really crucial. Like these mistakes are really rare, and how will I even put them safe? They are not to be made, because they are going to actually make your work really bad. Even though the work works out, it's going to end up really bad. So example of those mistakes now is number one. Let's just cut to the chase. Not including a doc type HTML. Now a lot of developers these days use the exclamation mark and then press enter to initialize all this code. But these days now, people just like writing it straight. Maybe let me just say HTML, and then that's just the image for the day, and then you just start their code by tagging in the head and then the head and the rest. But that's not how it's actually supposed to be, because this doc type HTML is actually really essential due to the fact that it is responsible for making the browser, any browser you're using, it is responsible for making the browser recognize the file as an HTML file. If not, the browser won't recognize it as an HTML file. It's going to run as an HTML file, but the browser will think of it as, it's just like you think you seen someone but mistaking the person for someone else. I'll use that the terminology for that. So moving on, yeah, that's it. Not including the doc type, the HTML. So if you want to start writing your code, first of all you need to include your doc type HTML. You need to include it before you say you want to start writing any other code, and because that is like one of the main thing. It's one of the origin of HTML writing. So now we are going to be moving to the second one. The second one says here, putting query links in the body element. So now when we write our code, which is let me just say the doc type HTML, the HTML language, which is the English, and then the head, the metadata, the head contains the metadata and the title which you want, and also some query links. So query links now, some developers do make that mistake of adding query links in the body element, and that is really wrong. It is wrong because developers these days now, like young developers these days, do make that mistake of putting query links in the body element, which is real wrong. It won't, like, it might run, but it's not going to run like it's supposed to run. It's just like putting normally you're supposed to put your link attribute right here. Your link attribute is supposed to be here. Your link CSS for the emmet abbreviation, and then you put whatever name you actually assign to it, just like as enrollment and the rest or whatever. So let me just put the enrollment then. So now some people will make that mistake of instead of putting it in this head element right here, they will take it down to the body element. And this is one of the mistakes developer makes they make these days. And with this happening, the file isn't going to run, like the CSS won't run. The link attribute is supposed to be at the head session, and the head session alone. So there's another mistake people make too, and that mistake include them actually mistaking links and buttons for each other, like so yeah, as I was saying, the anchor elements and the button elements. So people these days used to mistake the both of them for each other and vice versa. So like the button element now is only supposed to be used when you're working with a form. Yeah, you're only supposed to use it when you're working with a form. So it's this number 3 we're actually talking about now. We're making reference to this number 3. So yeah, it is supposed to only be used when you're working with a form. Let me just show you something real quick. So you have a form and then your action. So once we get into the form, we create our input elements. The input elements, we have the text, and yeah, we have another input elements. Let's call this one for the email. The email. So this is where you're supposed to include a button. Like this is where you're supposed to put the button. So the button now would say something like submit. No, sorry, submit. Like you submit your information. You submit your information to the web. So like when this loads up, you find something like this, right? So pardon me for not breaking it. So once you click on this submit, you notice this. You have a wrong what's the name, email address, whatever. So now everything is fine. Now once you click the submit, you notice the page refreshes. Now just wait for it. And once you click on the submit, you notice the page refreshes. Now you see that. Now this is because we used the button element. Now look at what's gonna happen if we used the anchor element. Now the anchor element, now we say let me just be like click me, or let me just use the same text I used before, which is submit. So once I come back here, you see something like this, right? So now I try to write whatever I want to write, and then this again, this. So now, yeah, this is a proper link. And now if I put the gmail.com, yeah, the gmail.com, you'll notice this. Once I press the submit button, it also refreshes. You notice that, right? Now this is as a result of the changes we have here, because now properly we are supposed to use button here instead of what, an anchor element. We use the button, not the anchor element. Once we use the button, we get like a round structure like this, a round framework where we can impute any value, like I'm a button. Here we have it. So this is proper for creating a form. So guys, let's move to the next one. The next one is creating tables wrongly. So now, yeah, a lot of people now these days create tables wrongly. So yeah, a lot of people have problem creating tables wrongly. So what I mean by creating tables wrongly, now let me illustrate that right here in the work tab. So I'm taking this out. So we have a table now. This is a table, right? So now instead of writing the table head, first of all, they'll start by writing the th. Tends to complicate things up, because this is the normal way to actually write a table. So yeah, normally if you want to create a table, you do it this way: t head, and inside the t head you have your table row, which is going to signify that you are going in a straight, like in your vertical part. Your horizontal part. So in here now, we are supposed to impute the table head now, the th. Yes, that's just it. And then your the th, as long as you want the th again, and as long as you want the th. But a lot of people used to get this wrongly by putting the wrong value where, like, at the wrong place. So let me add the border to show that actually want there to be a border there. And now I call this number, I call this name, call this and then I call this class. Let me say class. So once we come to it, now you see something like this. You see something like this. Now a lot of people used to make that mistake of writing the ch first. Yeah, the th first, which is literally wrong, and you won't get your desired output. As you can see, there's an error up here, and it's not what you be asking for. So instead of that, you should learn to put your table head first, your table header before your table row. Your table row shows that you want to span it in a horizontal line. So once you've included that, then you put your table head. So your table head now is where your values are going to lie. So the values now, example being no name and class. So we have the no name and class displayed in the browser here. So now once we come to the table body now, once I press enter, now you notice that there's no changes here. But now later, once I be like table row, table row, and then and put my table data. Yes, after the table row, then you put your table data. That is how you create the bodies. So the number now, the first number is going to be 1, and then let's say copy, and then enter, we paste, and then the second number, the name is going to be, let me just say Charles, and yeah, the class, table data, third grade, yeah, something like this. And when you come back here, you see you see this. So this is a proper table, unlike doing everything wrongly. So basically this is the right way to create a table. A lot of people might get this wrongly, but I'm sure after this video you'll be enlightened on how to do it better and well. So now, without wasting too much of your time, let's move to the next one. Now we are moving to the CSS basics. So the mistakes people make, when they use CSS. So for some of you that aren't familiar with CSS, stay on with me to learn CSS for the first time. And if you're a first timer, I'll be taking you guys CSS soon. And if you are just curious to see the mistakes you can make while using HTML, CSS, and JS, you can just stay on watching on how how to overcome the mistakes on using CSS. So now the first mistake people make in CSS now is mostly lack of specificity. Yes, lack of specificity. I mean that now yeah, let me have we have our HTML file here, and now let's call a container here. Yeah, let's put in a container here, and we a container. So inside the container we should have let's have a menu, and the menus, we should have like up to 3 menus, and then yeah, so 3 menus, right? And we have the container, we have the menu. So now if we come down here again, and then we say the container again, container, and we say we have a container again. No, sorry, let's have something different, like dot inner space, and yeah, inner space, and inside the inner space we should have menu also. Yeah, let's have the menu too, the menu. Inside the menu, yeah, 3 times again. So now basically we have a HTML file here with like within the body we have a div element containing a class of container, and inside the class of container we have a class, yeah, 3 classes of menu, and just below it we have something else, which is a div with class of inner space, and within the inner space we have divs with the class of menu also. So now if I were to say let's put red, and red. And I come down here and I say blue, blue, and blue, blue. And we come back here, we see yeah, we see something like this: red, 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 blue, blue, blue. So yeah, basically that's what we're supposed to see. So let me create a CSS file real quick. So yeah guys, I've created the the CSS file, so let's link it now. This is the work.html. so yeah, we just come down right here and then we see. Now make sure you don't make the mistake again, because now we are here to rectify the mistakes, not to create the mistakes on and on. So this is where we're supposed to put the work. So yeah, it's going to be basically work.css. So now let's highlight the elements. Now let's pick which elements we want to. Now let's actually give this let's give this divs here a styling of color red. Yeah, let's give this ones a styling of color red, just this ones. Now look at this. So once I say dot menu, and yeah, this is how to declare a variable in the CSS, the menu, and I see color red. So once I come back here, refresh. Okay, seems like it's not connected or stuff like that. I'm coming guys. So index.html, work.html. Okay, I see the problem here. So CSS /. So yeah, when we come back here, and yeah, you see now I want to show you that what I wanted to do was to only make all these elements with the number red, I mean with the letter red, yeah, with the word red. All of them should be red, but these blue ones, like these ones which are saying blue, shouldn't be blue, but instead the color overrode everything. And now when we come back here, we notice that like we're trying to talk to this element alone, but in this container, not in this inner space. We want this inner space now to be blue. So this is where a lot of developers get confused, and then they don't know what to do. Be like, okay, what's next? So in case if you're in that case, it's as easy as just specifying. Now lack of specificity is something which is common these days in coding. So now we come here, we take this we give a space, let's give a space. So we say the container here, the container. Now saying this the container, now you are actually specifying, you are telling the CSS that okay, I want I really want to go deep into this container. Yeah, I want to go deep into this container and this menu. So like your specificity is very high, and as you can see here, the specificity has changed from 10 to 20. Yeah, if you look there, you have 20 there, but before we check it, you have just 10. Yes, so but now you have 20. So now once we come back here, we need, now you see that it's only the ones you tagged red that are red, the ones that are blue are just on their own. So now this way things has like be made easier for you. So just say inner space again, and then you see the menu, and then you say your color blue. So basically it's as just easy as that. As now you can see you have colored this one's red, and you've also colored this one's blue. So see it closely. Yeah, color this one's red and you've colored this one's blue. Yeah, basically, so that's just how it works. So now let's move to the next one. And yeah, so we have the the cascading errors. Now this cascading errors now happens a lot. Now I can still represent it right here for you. So now you have your work.html, and now now CSS. Now I just want to say something real quick here. I said color blue here, right? So imagine I came here now and I copied this, and then I came down back here again and I changed the color to damn it, really, I changed the color to cyan. Let's see, cyan. Ah, damn it. So cyan, yeah. So once we come back now, you notice this. Now this is happening because this is the reason it is called cascading style sheet. Cascading means when something is going from the peak to the bottom, yeah, like from up to down, like is following a penultimate pattern. So now if you take a look at this from the beginning, now we declare the variable for the color to appear red, but down here now we are saying that the color should be cyan. So now the algorithm will just automatically pick the one that comes last. So it's going to pick the one that comes last, the code which comes last. So that's just how it works basically. So there's no two ways about it. So it's just going to work that way. And also if you do the same here, you copy this and you come down here and you change the color also here to white, no, let me say black. It will change. There's no two ways about that. It will change. It will change. But if your specificity is low, it won't. It literally won't. Yes, you see, it won't because of the low specificity. So low specificity now can't override high specificity and the cascading, the cascading performance. But once you have a high specificity now can override low specificity, but can't override a cascading, like, yeah, a cascade with a high specificity. So basically that's just how it works. So once we go back here, we have dot inner space dot menu. So once we come back here now, you see that everything changes because they are actually on the same league. So basically a lot of programmers get confused due to the fact that okay, you worked on something and now you want to just change a little bit of details on it, and then you just discover that a lot of things have changed in your CSS, and then you be like, oh my god, like where's the problem? You can just go back and erase that command and go back to the command you had earlier and make your changes. You update it instead of creating another command like this. This is just cloning, and cloning in CSS is going to result in your work getting tattered and all over the place. So yeah, basically come back to work.html and yeah, index.html, and now we come down here to stressful analysis. Now yeah, we all can agree that CSS is really stressful. Yeah, it's really stressful to use, unlike Bootstrap, which is a framework, and React.js. So Bootstrap now, it's easier to use because of you don't need to just be writing too much codes, just like you're writing up to like 8,000 line of style sheets and all of that. But with the Bootstrap, everything's made easier because you can just use your CDN and some other sources to just connect your Bootstrap to your HTML to make fast and reliable websites. So now you can just ease your stress by just making sure your specificity is high, and also making sure you don't repeat codes. That yeah, those are one of the things you need to be sure of. So this one's actually really a short one. And now JavaScript. Now one of the main problems people have in JavaScript is the wrong query selector. Yeah, the wrong query selector. I'm not going to be working on this yet because I don't have any JavaScript extension installed in this system yet, but later I definitely will. So wrong query selector. Now once you declare a query selector, now is to highlight, is to take the the particular file which is in the HTML. You want to harness it, you want to be able to work with it, you want to add a function in it with your JavaScript here and your JavaScript. So now a lot of people might get this wrong because there are a lot of ways to impute this query selectors. So some people, you can use the hashtag, which is for the ID, the dots, which is for the dots, which is for the class, and so on and so forth. So making mistakes there is actually really common, so we'll be looking at that later. So now there's this loop problem. Yeah, people used to have a lot of problems with loops. Now loops, if you're not careful with loops, you can actually freeze your system in a way that's that will actually damage it in a particular way. Yeah. So on strings and numbers, I meant to write numbers here. Numbers formats. Numbers. So numbers format. So we'll be looking at this later. This strings and numbers format, because this is when my JavaScript is working well. And yes, I hope you do have a nice day after watching this. I'm sure you have encountered how to solve all the mistakes people make while coding with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Hope to see you on the next one. Thank you.